Next up with us, third baseman from the Eaton Reds, celebrating a state championship. It's Jenni Jarnagin. Let's start with congratulations to you, Jenni. What are the feelings and emotions that are still flowing through your head following up that state title?
All day, it just felt unreal, just knowing that we're the first ones to ever do that and that we just worked so hard and we finally got our goal accomplished. And it still feels unreal, but it's just so, exciting, and I was so happy just this whole weekend.
You've been an impact player and a key contributor for that program for multiple years. You've been close, a couple of runners-up, right, recently?
Mm-hmm.
But you finally got over the hump. And then think about the historical. Eaton is 12th all-time as a school on number of total championships, but never had won a championship as a softball program. What's your perspective as a young lady knowing that you're in the books now? You made that happen.
Yeah, it's awesome to know that we're the first ones, but hopefully it inspired it just keeps it going and inspires younger kids to we want to be part of the softball program and keep doing that and keep winning state champs, I guess. So yeah.
And you had a great day too out there on the softball field, beating Lutheran in the Class 3A state championship game. Final score was 5-0. You jumped on them 4-0. Here's something I'm thinking about on your behalf too, as far as experiences. Something that'll never go away. In that fifth inning, you jacked one over the fence. How does that make it extra special for you that you'll have always be someone who hit a home run in a championship game?
That just feels so awesome, and especially that being my last high school at bat, that just made it even better. And just during the game, just knowing that we're up one more run and we got the momentum. We had the momentum the whole time, but now that we're just up another level and that I could just do that for the team just made it so much better.
How about mom too? My understanding is from your head coach that perhaps mom is the unofficial content provider.
Yeah.
She takes a lot of pictures, gets the videos. What's mom's experiences? What was she sharing with you immediately after?
She was bawling right when I got out there. So just seeing her was awesome too, knowing she supported me so much throughout my high softball career, and just seeing her made it so much special too, knowing that we could do that for the team, for our parents, just for everybody. So that was just awesome seeing them.
If we continue to use the word special, consider all that we were going through during this odd year, 2020, with the pandemic. You were playing, you were not, you were playing, it shortened. How does it make it more special that you got a championship during this weird time, 2020?
Yeah, it just shows the tenacity we had and how any challenge that came our way, we just accepted it and just moved right through it, and it didn't let it stop us. Because at state, we never had to wear the mask before, during the game, but then they said that we had to when we were playing at state. And that didn't bother us one bit, obviously, and we just kept playing. And so it just is so special knowing this team, any challenge that got thrown our way, we just tackled and kept moving forward.
Jenni Jarnagin, what did you and your teammates do for all the people of Eaton?
I think it just was awesome knowing because nothing's back, it's still pretty not normal. So just getting that state champ and showing that's what Eaton's about, is winning and being good athletes and doing it right, I guess. And so when we did that, it just was just a spark for the community. This is what the rest of the year's got, is state champs and a bunch of winners. So
and no rest for you, right? You're going to immediately move on to club softball, and then share what you can. You might have some opportunities at the college level. Where are you at with that in terms of your recruiting process?
I'm trying. We're doing a lot of out-of-state tournaments, to still pushing out emails to every college. I get to play in the all-state game next week, so hopefully that'll help too. And I'm not giving up, and anywhere that I have got a spot on the team, I'm going to look at and hopefully continue my softball career.
No, this is a good opportunity for you, and if you're a part of a staff with a softball program at the next level, keep an eye on Jenni Jarnagin. She's a winner, and that's a fact. Thank you, Jenni.
Thank you.
Welcome to ATM Live. How can I help you?
I'm going camping. Can I pay my credit card?
Absolutely.
Cash or check for $37.18?
Deposit money from the tooth fairy?
My dog ate my ATM card.
Can I make a withdrawal?
Sure thing.
Do almost anything you can do in the bank at Bank of Colorado ATM Live locations across the state. Bank of Colorado. There's only one.
Next up, the kicker from Highlands Ranch had a very big weekend as we concluded week 1 of the special football season here in 2020. It's Andy Thompson, a junior kicker and defensive back for the Falcons in Highlands Ranch. Just to set up the scenario, Andy, your team gets the football. It's a tie game, 8 seconds left. You set up to kick a field goal 52 yards out, and you nailed it as time expired. And then we all get to watch the videos floating around the internet. So can you recall immediately what you're thinking when that all finishes up? You know, do you have a grasp of how special that moment is for you?
It was just really cool because we didn't even know if we were going to be able to play this year, and to be able to come out in our first game and get the win from my team like that, I think it really brought us together, and it's going to give us a big momentum swing for the rest of the year. And it was just really cool, and it brought all of our teammates together, and it was just a great time.
Let's break down the video too when we think of all the cool elements to that. You know, not only a game winner from, legit distance, 52 yards out, then the clocks go blank at zeros. But think of, your team got the ball with 16 seconds left, and, I have to shout out your quarterback.
Yeah.
And, Linda Bloom connects with Arroyo, a great leaping catch in the sideline to get you down to the 35-yard line, one incompletion, and there you go, you set up. So here are things I noticed. You had a big tight end who patted you on the back, and I believe that was Jake McBride. Do you remember what he said to you?
I don't really remember what Jake said to me, but I remember my running back, Dylan Grule. He just put both of his hands on my shoulders, and he said, "You got this," because actually a couple of days before that, we were doing field goals in practice, and everyone was around me making noise, and I was from 50. So our coach did a good job preparing me for that situation. So I think everybody had faith in me that I could do it. I just had to do what I was practiced and was I knew I could do it. So
when you talk about you practicing, kicking from that kind of length, at the high school level, we don't always have dedicated specialists to be a kicker, but you are one of them, right? Kicking is one of your things that you do. That's a specialty.
Yeah, I think kicking would be my best shot at making it to the next level for football. So I really try and focus on it. I go to a bunch of kicking camps, and my head coach knows that I can kick pretty well. So he makes sure that that's a dedicated part of our practice. So he knows he can trust me in game time situations like the one this past Friday.
Again, talking to Andy Thompson from Highlands Ranch, 52-yard game winner in week 1 to beat Lakewood 17-14. And when you talk about being a specialist, you look the part too on tape. There's 2 little nuances I notice as you get set up your pre-kick routine. What is it with the, I guess, lifting the right arm, and then you have the twist? What's going on with all that? Can you describe it?
The right arm, I'm just basically moving my right arm with my foot. So I have the line of the kick that that's the line that I want to kick it through. And then the twist, I don't really remember where that came from. It's kind of just an extra stretch before I kick it from my hip, and it's just kind of become a thing. And I'm kind of a superstitious person, so once I started doing that and I started making them, I've just done it since, and it's just kind of a superstition thing more than anything.
When foot hit the ball, did you know?
Yeah, I pretty much knew. I looked at it a little bit, and then I pretty much knew. And then me and my tight end, Jay DeRoyo, he knew it too. We started running down the field, and then I turned around, and everyone was storming me, and it was just super cool.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that too. Do you even have any recollection of what's going on? Because you immediately spun around, one finger in the air, you're sprinting down to the other 20-yard line. That's a parking lot over there. I don't even know who you're looking at. What are you doing?
I was just lost in the moment. It was really cool. I just wanted to be able to – being able to do that was really cool, and it was just a blur in the moment. I just put a finger up and started running because I knew I won us the game, and it was just really cool.
You can see the big smile on your face. Now, let's put it in perspective. Considering – that you were on the varsity team last year, a team that went 0-5, then made a nice run, even got a playoff win down the road. Now you carry that momentum. How does a moment like that and kind of help what you're trying to get accomplished here in 2020?
I think this first win is going to give us a lot of momentum, especially after how we started off last year and ended. I don't think people thought we would be able to do it as well this year because we had a lot of coaching changes and players moving around, and I don't think people had much faith in us. But I think this first win is going to do a lot for us.
And then think about you. Let me source you because, I know in the off season during this pandemic, a lot of adults talking, but what about people like you, the student athletes? How is it extra special to have something like this happen for you and your teammates with all you've endured through the off season up until the point where we get a season?
Right. I mean, our whole team, I don't know about other teams, but our whole team, we just wanted to play football because, like, most of the kids on the team, that's our life. That's what we've been doing our whole life. So just we want to play because we've fallen in love with the game. And being able to actually play and get a win in our first game of the first week and this crazy schedule and this crazy year that we've had, I think it was just really special to be able to do that.
Special is a good word. I mean, you think about what you guys are and why we enjoy watching you play. It's entertainment for us. That's no different than you as a little kid and all of us, right, in the backyard. Thompson for the win, 52 yards out. It's good. And now you're a hero.
Yeah, it's pretty surreal.
You're proud to call Colorado home. So are we. Since 1973, we've been giving back to the communities where we live, work, and play across our great state. And we're here to stay. If you're looking for an independent, locally managed community bank where the employees are also the owners, we would like to be your bank. We're Alpine Bank.
Next up, very talented young man, one of our top prospects here in the state of Colorado, coming off a wild, thrilling victory over an in-town rival. Seyi Oladipo, who's a defensive back, also return specialist, and definitely gets his reps over on the offensive side of the ball for the Eaglecrest Raptors. Seyi, let's talk about the game. 112 points. The game went 3 hours, 4 minutes. I called the game. 17 total touchdowns, and certainly what catches our attention with you is you had 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown. Let's start with this. Have you ever been involved with something as crazy as that, where, again, 112 points on the board?
See, it's kind of weird because I heard, like, where Eaglecrest is now in the books for 112 points, and then I don't remember what it was at state, like my freshman year being there. That was also a really high-scoring game against Pomona, and it was just it wasn't like – it was like this game. It wasn't like defense wasn't like bad, but offense was just superior.
When people ask me that story, I definitely tell them it wasn't sloppy play. It was just offenses doing really well. And you think of all that's happened during the offseason. You guys are coming in with limited practice sessions, right? Usually when we watch football, defenses excel early. It's the offenses that eventually grow but will struggle early. That wasn't the case. Why do you think that was? Why were the offenses doing so well in that game?
I feel to come back to an offense is kind of where it's like an easier portion, where it's like you and your quarterback can throw every day. You and your running backs can practice handoffs every day before like the season. With defense, there's rarely a time where you can go out and be like, okay, there's an O-line for me to practice. My blitz is on for us to get everything right, spacing right, getting our eyes right. So it's like when you have such limited practices, you have limited time to perfect everything that you usually could in like a 3-week span, where you could walk through a lot more time to walk through, do film. And it's like, I feel defense, you really have to prepare twice as much because you're not – like offense knows where they're going. Defense, you have to react.
Okay. And that's interesting too. Kind of fits, and you can check me down if I'm wrong, but I think you're teaching me something here. With the off season, where we had reports of guys getting together in parks, being creative, doing whatever they could do, is, skills players could get together and toss the ball around to where defenses couldn't get together and maybe work team concepts. Am I right with that?
100%.
Okay, gotcha. Well, you just taught me something. Not surprised, you're a smart guy. Seyi Oladipo, defensive back and special teams stud for Eaglecrest. Let's talk about those special teams. Kickoff returns. I want to confirm this. If you've gone through game film, I had those returns at 97 and 98 yards. What did you have?
I know one of them was like 96 and a half-ish. It's kind of like if you're looking at my back foot or front foot. Okay. I haven't gone to look at the second one. Well, like the second one was my favorite, but I'm mostly looking at like I looked kind of fast.
Yes, you did.
But it was those were definitely like electrifying to be out there, because like the second one was kind of like shocking. Like right before the play, I'm talking to like my lead blocker, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna get this one. Let's get ready to block. And then ball gets kicked in the air. I get under it, and I was like, okay, let's do this again.
What about the timing of those returns? First quarter, Cherokee Trail had just pushed ahead with 14-7 lead, and then you had the immediate answer. And then I think more critically, in that fourth quarter, you just given up the only score to Cherokee Trail in the entire second half. They'd, pushed to 50 points. They're up by 8, and then boom, again, back down the field, and you're within 2. How does that time and fit for, how much impact you thought those returns made?
The first one for me was definitely just personal. I felt I made a mistake because they had scored. So I was like, okay, if I mess up, I owe it back to my team to put it back on the board. So it was like there was nothing stopping me on the first one. And the second one, it was just, okay, they score, our turn. It was a time where we needed to score. And we were talking about it today after practice where it was like it kind of saved us time on the clock to come back. Because by me taking it back, it was like a 20-second play compared to like a 2-minute drive that we would have used on offense. Because we believed no matter what we were going to score after. Like after they scored, we were going to score right back. And you did, right? Once you had your kickoff return for that TD in the fourth quarter, that was at the 10-18 mark. Eaglecrest scored twice. CT never scored again. One of the interesting parts with all this is not only the game itself, but with your performance is your timing. 3 hours before the kickoff, after a long off season with all the pandemic drama, you issued your commit to play in the Mountain West with Boise State. Why did you choose that time? I mean, that's a big time decision to do that. Why did you choose that? Why then? For me, me and my best friends have been talking about it where it was like, we weren't supposed to have a season. Like, okay. The way everything was working out, I was not going to get another chance to play with all like my brothers, all my best friends. So then when it came down to it, I was like, let me make this day the best day possible. So I was like, okay. We took a video like the day before, and I was like, oh, it might not be ready, so it might not get to do it. And then got finished that night, same day, video got done. And I was like, okay, this is what it's meant to be. And I was in my fourth period class. I FaceTime all my best friends. I'm like, is it time to drop it? And we all agreed. It was like, it's time. So it was like, okay, now that I dropped this, we can't go and lose. It was like more incentive that we could not lose on this day. Well, I put a tweet out there saying if Shay's going to do something like that, you better back it up. And certainly you did. You got the win. You had the 2 splash plays, a couple of kickoff returns for touchdowns. We saw, your performance on the offensive side of the ball too, make an impact over there. I think with all that, it showcased your skills. You're going to be a nice fit over at Boise State in the Mountain West. Why did you choose Boise? I chose Boise because the culture of the Blue is like no other. Like, they're a team where the culture really never changes. Coach Harsin played for Boise. Coach Franklin played for Boise. And they all, Boise's town where they take care of each other. And that was definitely one thing that definitely drew me to Boise. The program, the winningest program in the past decade. And it's just a place where when I went there this summer just to see the town, I felt I could be at home there. And I was like, where can I get my education, play good football, and win? Now, there's no place like Boise for that. Place at the high school level, and then Boise's obviously creative. That's part of their brand identity. Do they discuss with you where you project in terms of position in the future with them? I'll be playing safety at Boise. There you go. Okay, so that's already been confirmed. Well, that'll be very fun to watch you. We selfishly still get to enjoy watching you play one fall season here in the state of Colorado. We'll see you and wish you the best on the football field here in fall 2020. Of course. Thank you.